What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble, proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield, who are definitely the people to speak to if you've got a growing business and want to continue that growth. Today, we've got him back again. My favourite guest, and that's with all due respect to all the other guests who've been fantastic on this channel. But my dad's back, Andy the Blade. Today, we're going to be looking at controversial Blades takes. So no one better to speak to than my own father, Andy the Blade. How's it going, Dad?
Hey, Jim. You all right?
Have we sorted the internet out?
Your internet, I think it was, but I think it was mine. Yes, I think so. But I'm not that good, to be honest. As you know, with technology.
At least we could hear you.
Oh, like this.
I know.
All right.
Well, it's a little bit stuttery, but we can cope with it. So this is controversial Blades takes. I want to put a disclaimer out there. These are not my opinions. These are opinions held that I've either seen, heard, or sort of been mooted as being talked about. So what I'm going to ask you, Dad, is I'm going to give you a phrase, and I want you to tell me if it's fact or fiction and why.
Right.
Okay. So the first one up, Wes Foderingham is a Premier League goalkeeper. Fact or fiction?
Wes Foderingham is a Premier League goalkeeper. Well, he is a Premier League goalkeeper because he's playing in the Premier League and he's doing all right. But I know what you're trying to get at because you keep having a go at him a little bit unfairly, in my opinion. So throw you under straight away there. I think he deserves his chance in the Premiership. That's what I think. I think there are better goalkeepers around, very expensive goalkeepers, might I add, and I don't think he's done anything wrong for us to replace him fully yet. I think he should be given a chance. I would like a good young goalkeeper to come underneath him, or if we were splashing out, if we had plenty of money, obviously I'd like somebody like a Dean Henderson to come back and because he is a better goalkeeper than Wes, but I think it'd be very unfair on Wes. He does have these. I think his goalkeeping's all right. I think he does have these bloody rushes of blood where, he got sent off twice last year ridiculously. That was 6 games he were out for, and then obviously he could have got sent off on Saturday for handball outside the box, which is ridiculous. But
just erratic, isn't it?
But so as a Premiership goalkeeper, slightly unproven as a top class Premiership goalkeeper, but certainly deserves his chance.
Interesting take. How many other Premier League teams does he get?
Not an interesting take. It's the proper take, Jim. It's yours is the interesting take. Bloody not giving him a chance.
Listen. I have to eat a bit of humble pie on Wes. He's done nothing wrong this season, and I think he's even. We talk about the team getting better game by game. I think Wes has looked better game on game. So I cannot say anything about Wes or Jack Robinson in that regard. But how many other Premier League teams does Wes Foderingham get into?
I'm not sure how many. There are some good goalkeepers, but I don't think we will get a much better goalkeeper than Wes unless we spend quite a lot of money. So.
Yeah, that's fair. And I am playing devils a little bit because
I know you are. Well, you are and you're not. You are and you're not with Wes. It's all right, really, getting a get out clause. Devil's advocate. This is not necessarily my point of view, but when I know it is.
All right. There we go for the second controversy.
I knew you were going to get me back on this because we all change his minds a little bit, and we all sort of like.
Oh yes. Just a little backtrack there. We're all able to change our minds, and no one can judge on previous opinions. So, fact or fiction? Ollie McBurney is a potential future captain of our club.
No, he's not a future captain. I don't think so.
You call him fiction?
I'm saying it's fiction. McBurney has been. I've been a massive.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Hey, do you want to come to confession time?
I've had a massive downer on McBurney since he arrived. I did a little bit of scouting on him, didn't I, when he first arrived, and I says, I don't think he's a finished article. He'd had a great season at Swansea, A lot of the goals had been made for him by that really quick winger that they got, Danny James. And I thought, he just didn't look the part to me. And when he came, I know don't get me wrong, I know he's had a lot of injuries, but I think injuries have been part of his fault as well, strangely enough, because I know through seeing and working with footballers that if you don't look after your body properly, you're more prone to getting injured. So if you're, listen, I'm slandering him here a bit because I don't know, but
if you make that bed, to lie in.
For instance, if he was going out and not particularly looking after himself, and I'm not saying he was doing anything wrong, but obviously if he liked to go out and have a good time. And if you don't look after yourself properly, you're more prone to getting injuries. And he picked up loads of injuries. I thought he didn't play well at all. I know you said he did all right the first season in the Premiership, but I never rated him. Right. In fact, the first time I started rating him was last season, and I'm thinking, we paid 20-odd million for you, and you are just you are just eventually looking like a decent to good Championship player, which is what he was last year.
Objection.
All right.
If we'd have signed him for £2 million, would you still have that opinion?
No, I'd say well worth it, probably. But
right. So it's not his fault, the price tag, though, is it?
I'm not saying it's fault. I'm just saying I'm talking about value for money. We paid 20-odd million. We never got any value for money. I don't particularly rate him. I never particularly rated him as a footballer. I don't think he can sprint. I don't think he closes down properly, or he never used to do. I'm gonna make a caveat here. He never used to close down properly. He didn't get into proper positions when he were attacking the ball to head the ball for goal. He was always all right defending, defensive headers. You've got to give him that. And I think his link-up play is quite good. But I thought, as a centre forward, he couldn't hold the ball up. He would always getting pushed off the ball. He would always going down, appealing for fouls. He used to do my head in.
Stop! He's already dead.
So that was the first 2 seasons. Last season, in between his injuries, I thought, you seem to be picking up a bit again here, but we're still talking about a £20 million player in the Championship. So you should expect him to be, if you wanted to buy a £20 million player in the Championship, you want him to do really well, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do.
And he were doing okay. He were doing all right. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's all right. This season, to be fair to him, and this is where I really hold my hands up, because last season we just, you started earning your money a little bit. This season, he played a half a game, then he played a full game, and now he played another full game, and he's played really well. I can't say anything. So whether it's eventually clicked with him and he's started looking after himself, he looks a little bit more toned, he looks a little bit quicker. So whether the penny's dropped and he has decided that whether he's on the last year of his contract, which but I wouldn't like to say that, and I don't think that's the case. But certainly, on the strength of his start of the season, he's looked a good player this season. And what I expected him right from what I hoped for him, I didn't expect what I hoped from him right from the very start. And I've been so disappointed with McBurney, as you know. I think he's been a very big disappointment up until last season, really, I'll say.
Wow. Well, thank you for being honest and giving the take that I know is the true take on how you feel about him.
Jim, after all I've said about McBurney, I couldn't say any different, could I? Because
I want to let you.
You've known it week in, week out how I've been with him.
Absolutely. I hear it on way back, chewing my ear off all 3 of you. Yeah. And anyway, so I was the last man on that hill.
Yeah, but you came off it eventually.
Let's put that bit out. Right, next one, moving very swiftly on. And this is one again. I'm having to hold my hands up again. Jack Robinson is a reliable left centre-back. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. He's never a reliable left centre-back. He is a... Oh, all right.
I love this. I love this already. This is going to be a segment that stays, fact or fiction, particularly with you.
He is... Let me finish with what I'm saying, though. He is...
I know where you're going with it.
A solid, no-nonsense tough as nails left centre back. That's what I think he is, and he gives 100%. As a Sheffield United player, I do like him. I think he's. I do know a little bit about his background, and he is. He's not just tough on the pitch. He is a tough lad.
He's an hard nut, isn't he? Let's hope he never sees Ramble.
Yeah, no, sorry. So that's the good bits. That's the good bit you can see, Jack. As a reliable, you asked him, was he a reliable left centre back? No, he's not. He's always got an error in him. I think he's okay as long as he's steaming into tackles and he's throwing his body in the way for blocks. Very brave. I think positionally he's got a little bit better, but I think he feels himself so uncomfortable on the ball. I don't think he likes it to his feet. When you see him with the ball, he never really plays a good ball, and he'll like give it off easy, or he'll turn around and give it back to the keeper.
Passes it back, doesn't he, a lot? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think he's comfortable, with distribution. So, and as I say, he does. I think because he's not comfortable with the ball at his feet, I think if people close him down quickly or wherever, he's always liable to make a rig. So. He's not reliable, but there were some quite good things I said about him there, though.
Yeah, there was. And I think it's fair, and I agree with the vast majority of what you've said. In fact, everything that you've said there. Fact or fiction? John Egan is past his best.
Oh, very hard one. This. I've been a big Egan supporter right from the very start. I in fact, there's been times when I've said he's the most important player in our club.
Yeah. And, I can vouch for you saying that.
Luckily enough, he was usually fit as well. So it was quite often that he was the mainstay at centre-back. He was always calm. He organised as much as he could. I mean, he does, like we say a lot about Sheffield United players, if he had everything, he wouldn't be playing for us. So, and a lot of bigger teams were looking at him. I think Everton were looking at him at one time. And, there's been a few players. And I'm sure he could play top half Premiership, or he could. I'm going to say he could have played top half Premiership. He's slipped off a little bit this season. Could be any reasons. Could be getting older. I think it also could be the fact that he's had nobody to push him at all. He's had nobody, looking for his place. So I do like Egan. I don't think he'll let us down that much, but I don't think he's quite as sharp and quite as the mainstay that he used to be. So I do think it's not an urgent replacement that we need, but I think if I was Eki, I'd start be looking, who is the good centre halves knocking about, whether either to fully replace him or to come underneath him and push him.
So is that fact or fiction?
What was the question again?
That Egan's past his best.
No, he's not past his best. But when I say he's not past his best, he's not going to get any better. I don't think. I think there's only
faction.
I think there's only one way for Eags to go. It's not improving. Hopefully he can stay at this level, at the level that we require for another season or so. But
okay, fact or fiction? Cameron Archer will get 15 goals for Sheffield United this season.
Are you kidding? There's no way he's going to get. Of course he is, yeah, Jim.
Don't be dissing Cam. No, we're big Cameron Archer fans on this channel.
I think he'll get. I'll say 12 to 15. I would go 12 to 15.
I was teetering on which one to ask you. Actually, to be fair,
I'd say 12 to 15. I think he'll do well. He didn't look. He looked sharp against Everton. I thought. I'd give him 2 goals. I know he only got 1. You give him 1, but I'd give him the 2 goals. I thought against Tottenham, probably didn't look short of match fitness, I would say, and he faded a bit. It's going to take time to settle in, but I think, and also Tottenham away, you're not going to get a lot of chances, are you? It's not like you're going to, be able to do what he wants to do. So there were a lot of work off the ball they were doing. So yeah, I think he's a great buy. I look forward to seeing lots of goals, but I think 15 might be a lot of goals. 12 to 15 I'll go for.
He does add a different dimension to us, though, Archer, having a finisher at this level.
He does. Although he's not, when I've been watching him, he's not he's not a flyer, is he? He's not. He's sharp and he's quick, but he's not. I don't think he's somebody who's going to he's not a zoomer.
No, he's not a Kurt.
Because I don't know. I don't know where Zuma came from, to be honest. But no, it's not a Zuma last year.
So if we'd have said 12 to 15, we're saying that's fact.
I'll say that's fact. 12 to 15, I'll say that's fact.
Okay. Fact or fiction? We're a better side with Oli Norwood in the team when he's having one of his good spells, we'll say.
Yeah, when he's playing at the top of his game and he's playing the best game he's ever played.
Well, that's the thing with Norwood, isn't it? Because he's so inconsistent. And again, he won't be playing for United if he was consistent. Who does he get in for now? You know, if he's playing well, does he keep McAtee out of the side?
It depends what sort of game we're playing into. You could argue that he should have probably played from the start against Tottenham, because I would argue that we've got maybe too many attackers in the side against Tottenham, with McAtee and Hamer and two forwards. That's 4 players who don't really defend. I know McBurney does defend a little bit from the front, but and Hamer works hard. So I'm not saying they don't defend at all, but they're not defenders. You would think you would want somebody who maybe sat a little bit deeper in that game. So it depends what sort of game. At home, I would hope that we would play McAtee and Hamer and have Sousa sitting. But I think away games, I said this to you, I think, the other day, McAtee might not be a luxury player, and he's a great player. He's McAtee. I really like him, but I think we've got to be careful how we play him and not expect him to do too much when we're under the cosh.
I agree, and you did say that when we were watching it, and I agreed with you at the time, but I have to say, hindsight played massively into certainly my assessment of that, because I wanted McAtee to start over Norwood, and I understand why. I was convinced he would have started Norwood due to that defensive solidity, but he went with McAtee, and you're thinking, brilliant, we're going to go for him here. And McAtee just never really got hold of the game, did he? I don't know whether, like you said, it's lack of match fitness or just getting used to how we play again and things like that, but it didn't quite click for him. And whereas at home, we'll hopefully have a little bit more of the ball and obviously a bit more attacking.
I don't think last year in Championship he did an awful lot defensively. I think Doyle did more defensively, and McAtee was the one who was like linking up with Illiman and pushing balls through or getting on to end of things in box. I think that's his game.
So a bit of a sub question now then, because I mean, for me, McBurney's out for Newcastle. Yeah. For me, instead of bringing in a Traore, I would be having Archer up front with McAtee and probably Hamer just off, like supporting him. Not as 2 10s per se, maybe Hamer a little bit further back, but Norwood and Sousa then, rather than another striker coming in. I think that's the better to set up.
I would do that because we haven't got a great striker to bring in. You know, if you had a fully firing, well, even Brewster, if you're fully firing Brewster, you know, you could maybe put him in instead. But, you know, we've got Willisula, who's still very raw. We've got Traore, who's still very lightweight, I think. So we haven't really got anybody to replace them, which is a big worry, really. Yeah, you could probably fit him in like that.
So, fact or fiction, are we better with Norwood in the side? And you can't say it depends on. Are we a better side with Norwood in the side?
I would say we're a better defensive side, but not a better attacking side.
Brilliant. Thanks for sitting on the fence with that one.
That's what you get.
Right.
That's all you're getting.
Look, you're not being paid your fee now for coming on.
They're getting any money off you for Holt. They'll be at bloody first.
Oh, dear me. Moving on. Gus Hamer is our best summer signing. Fact or fiction?
Fact. Absolute fact. I mean, I know you're a big Archer fan, and I am to an extent, but Hamer is what we've needed, what I've wanted for ages. Somebody who can, you know, pick a game up with its, you know, by its shirt tails and just, you know, run a game really when he can. I mean, it's very difficult because he's, you know, we're asking him to do this, and he's been playing in Championship all his career. So, you know, asking him to do it in the Premiership with a lower level team in the Premiership, you know, is quite difficult. But I think he'll be up to the task. I think he'll be very good. The thing is, why I think he's the best signing of the summer as well is because I think he's with us for the long term. So, you know, even if we go down it, I think he'll be a player that can build a team round. Whereas Archer, as much as I would hope Archer gets a lot of goals, and I think he'll give us another string to our bow. You see that?
Hey.
I think. Well, two things really. One, obviously, if he does, that'd be great. But there's a chance that he'll leave us if we go down. So we might only have him for a year. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. It's like a loan if we don't survive, and it's a permanent if we stay up into it. It's a strange deal.
Tricky one with Archie, because if he's not going to do it. If he actually burns the Premiership up and scores 20 goals, Villa will have him back.
Of course they will.
We lose him if he does too well. We lose him if he does crap.
Can he do mediocre? Just enough. Couple of points.
Do enough to keep us up, and then don't score anymore.
I agree with you, Gus Hamer. He's that unbelievable blend. What a player he is! But he's scrappy and he's aggressive, which fits brilliantly with our mentality as a side and as a fan base particularly. So we love it. But he's so technically gifted. It's just unbelievable. That goal that he scored against Tottenham on his weaker foot. You know, who can do that with the left foot and guide it into bottom left-hand corner? You know, from an uneasy. I know angle were okay, but ball's moving. It's just the technique is unreal. I think he's a really good signing. Really good.
Seems a nice lad as well, doesn't he? He's he seems to get on with everybody, and
he does.
Well.
Yeah, agreed. And hopefully we've got him. He's 26, I think. Hopefully we've got him for his peak years as well, so that he's only going to get better wheels. I think. Hopefully, that is fact. I will go with that, just due to the nature of the deal. To be honest, fact or fiction? Eki should remain manager regardless of what happens this season.
You can't say regardless. If we don't win another game, and his subs are crap, and his team selections are crap, well, no. But if he carries on with how he is doing, I quite like him, and he'd have to do something ridiculous to deserve the sack. Because is it fact that he's going to keep his job no matter what?
That he should keep his job.
Well, you can't say no matter what, because, like I say, if we finish up getting no points,
I think the general consensus. What I'm meaning, the basis of the question is,
get your questions.
No matter if we get relegated, if we get relegated, I assumed you'd be able to pick this up, but I will explain it in layman Dave terms. If we get relegated, despite doing as well as we can, is Eki still the man? So there's
a different question now, Jim. That's you're saying if we give it a bit of a good go, but we get relegated, does he deserve to get sacked? No.
Okay. It's a different question then. So, well, my new question, fact or fiction? If we do as best, should Eki remain in charge? That means if we are 5 points adrift with 5 games to go, would you bite the bullet and try and get somebody in for that last-minute impact? Or do you see it as the long-term job that it's been built to be, and Eki's the man that's seeing us right to the end?
Yeah, I would trust in Eki. I think Eki's done all right. There's lots of things I disagree with Eki about, but they tend to be minor things, like team selection occasionally and subs and stuff. But in general, being sort of loyal to those players. But you can't really argue with his record since he come in. And who would you bring in as well? Who would you bring in? Are you still on about Chrissy Boy?
I'm always about Chrissy Boy, but I agree with you. I think Eki's done nothing wrong and shouldn't get sacked. I put a video out about it. So
look what happened when we brought in a big name manager last time. Chaos.
Yeah, no, that's true. Right, final question, Father.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction? Sheffield United will survive.
It begins with an F.
It's got a C in there somewhere.
It has got a C in there and a T.
Yes. Okay.
So it is fact.
Oh.
Yes, we will. I think there's about 5 or 6 teams at bottom. I'm going to say 6. There's probably 5, but 5 or 6 teams at the bottom who we can compete with, and I think we have a 50% chance of staying up. So we've got to be in the top 3 of that 6.
Faction.
No, I've said fact. I'm not fucking now on that fact. Why? What do
It's
you
a
think?
fact.
Anyway?
It's a fact that we've got 50% chance of staying up.
Well, I think we haven't got 50% chance of staying up, but I think I will err on that side that we will stay up. And
yeah, I agree.
You know, I'm not a betting man, Jim.
No.
Well, only a little bit. Yes, I am obviously a betting man, but yes, I would put my money on United staying up.
Have you put your money on United staying up out of interest?
I haven't. No, I haven't yet. I haven't looked at the odds, seen what they are as yet. I'll wait till they get a bit higher. Lose a few.
Yeah, wait till we played Newcastle, West Ham, and Man U coming up,
yeah,
and then
I'll put it on. Yeah, when we're at
no,
500 to 1.
I agree. I think we're going to stay up. I'm not very confident.
I think our team out of that bottom six, I think. Well, there's all sorts that goes into it, but I think our team, our first 11, is 12 or 13 even maybe when we get them all fit. But I think is as good or not better than their teams. So
and that is where I hang my hat, because the problem that we've both touched on, both independently and together, really, is the squad depth is the issue. But if we address that in, you've got to hope for luck with injuries and form and things like that. But if we can ride it out till the Christmas period and then we strengthen with a couple of quality bodies in January, I think we've got every chance. Every chance.
We haven't got a lot of. I mean, going back to your thing again, when you had 2 for each position, if we get R&D back, that gives, and we buy the lad from Leicester, that gives us 2 good solid things. If Trusty is as good as we hope he is, that gives us a quality defender as alongside Jack. And Nell needs to stay fit because I don't fancy Bash. So there's certain positions. Bogle and Baldock are all right. That's okay. Yeah. We need Wes to stay fit because we don't particularly like Aaron Davis that much. We've got some good options in the they could come good. Tom Davis and Slimani.
I agree.
They could come good as stand-ins for us, and we've got Norwood as well. We're just up front. We're very, very light. I mean, there's Traore who might come good. There's Willasula, who I know we both like, but he's still showed that he's still very raw. And Ryan Brewster. So a lot of ifs and buts, which could come good and give us some depth, but they're not there at the moment.
No, I agree.
If we've got injuries now, we'd be struggling, wouldn't we?
We would, and McBurney is injury prone, let's be right. So we have a few players that are susceptible to injury, unfortunately. Anyway, Dad, I have really enjoyed this. Thank you for that. I like the format, even though you didn't stick to it. You just sort of flew off in every different direction.
How do you mean? I answered every question as you asked me them. Some of your questions were a bit iffy. That's all it was.
Okay. Well, I'm not a professional broadcaster, as you know. So that's anyway.
I'm glad it's been working this time anyway. Instead of what I were in bloody portrait mode, landscape mode. I were in all sorts on the last one.
I know it's good to actually be able to speak to you on a stream where I'm not trying to work out what you're saying and then cut it up. Takes me about 3 days to edit it. So anyway, no, I appreciate you coming on, Dad. As you know, this is the last one of your verbal agreement that you said you'd do with us. So I don't know when next time we'll see you.
I said, I told you. I said I'm going away. I'm going away until next week, and I've got a few. Newcastle. In fact, I've got a few holidays coming up. So I said I would fit in 2 or 3 fairly quickly, and then obviously I can't do
renegotiate your contract when we come back. When you come back,
we'll look at the Christmas transfer.
Christmas transfer. We're in September. What about the Halloween update?
I think I might be in Benidorm.
What a shock! What a shock! Unbelievable. Let me know when you're in country and then we'll try and sort something out. Nice one, Dad. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, as always. And I'll speak to you soon.
It's a pleasure, Jim.
Cheers,
see you later.
Love that, as I always tend to do, and hope you enjoyed it too. So let us know. Do you agree? Fact or fiction? We a lot of those. He can't be right on everything. And if you say that he is, I've got to deal with that ego that comes out of that. So yeah, thanks again to my dad for coming on. Absolutely brilliant. If you do like what we're doing, please do like, comment, share to get the word out wider. But more importantly, subscribe, because we're trying to get to that 5,000 before Christmas Day, 5K before Christmas Day. I've every confidence we can get there, but I do need your support in getting those numbers up. It's absolutely free to subscribe. You just click that button at the bottom, and any support is appreciated. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade. Ramble on.